Hello and a warm welcome to this special conversation. Operation Sindoor is not yet over. That's what we're being told by Indian embassy officials outside India, as well as the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister. But how is this great nation of ours actually responding to what has been going on during Operation Sindoor and post Operation Sindoor? With me, our dear friend Amitabh Tiwari, who's now come with a new avatar of a mood of the nation, kind of a platform which is created called Weekly Vibe. So, firstly, many congratulations to you, Amitabh, for floating this new tool that you have of mapping public sentiment. When did you do this, Amitabh?
Thank you, sir. It's just a startup. It's a new venture called Vote Vibe.
Hmm.
We will be measuring weekly vibes as well as state and national vibe as we go ahead.
Okay, great. So, firstly, Amitabh, this entire survey that you have done, I assume would have been done to map the mood of the people post Operation Sindoor. Can you just tell us what was the time period and the methodology that you used?
So this has been done on Thursday, Friday, Saturday last week, post the Prime Minister's speech and after the ceasefire was announced. This has been done this has been done through an IVRS method,
Hmm.
and it's a very representative sample with 52% males and 48% female sample. Samples from across the country have been taken to arrive at the findings of this survey.
So let me just take our viewers through each question that you have posed. The first question that you've raised: who do you think won the perception war in the India-Pakistan conflict? And the results are 72.6% believe India, 8.5% people believe Pakistan. But if you look at the social media narratives, and if you look at the Western media representation, it's almost as if that India is struggling to play catch up to this narrative. Is this just a predominantly Indian sentiment that you've captured, Amitabh?
No, of course, it's an Indian sentiment, but perception is the new reality. So that's why we have kept this question. As you mentioned, there was a lot of misinformation war going on in the social media and the traditional media over as to who won the war.
Hmm.
The results are clearly in favor of India, as to 73% people feel that India won the perception war, and only 8.5% feel Pakistan won it. And this is, I would feel, primarily due to the fact that there were regular briefings by the MEA, there were regular briefings again by the DGMOs, and the final speech was given by the Prime Minister. So initially, there was a bit of miscommunication, misinformation, etc., on the social and traditional media. But now we are seeing, even in the Western media, in the traditional media, people are clearly accepting that India has won the war after we announced the attacks on the air bases. So this is what it really reflects.
The other interesting thing which I see in your numbers, Amitabh, when you look at it through the demography of age, the maximum number of people who believe that India has won this perception battle actually are 55 plus. So it's rather interesting. The maybe the Instagram and the YouTube generation, 18 to 24, 74%. That's also a big majority. But the gap between, in terms of age groups, 74% people in the age group of 18 to 24 believe that India won the perception war, but 85% people believe that India won the perception war in the age group of 55 plus. What does this signify?
Yeah, so I think clearly it signifies what is the medium of social media which they use. So 55 plus age people generally in the hinterland and semi-urban areas use WhatsApp as a medium of communication, wherein clearly by the time the survey was conducted, it was clear that India had attacked air bases, etc. Whereas the 18 to 24 age group is the age group which consumes everything on social media. And while 74% people in that age group admit that India has won the perception war, the highest, which is 18%, across categories also feel in this age group that it is Pakistan which has won the perception war. So the younger adults who are more on social media, the highest among them, 18%, feel that perhaps Pakistan won the perception war.
Because I see the same sentiment in the next question also, where you're mapping, are you satisfied with the central government's handling of the Pahalgam attacks? Again, this 55 plus 90% people believe that they're satisfied. Whereas in the age group of 18 to 24, 72% people believe that they're satisfied. There is a clear skew in your methodology and your data. More people in the age group of 55 plus, let's say nearing senior citizens, in agreement with Narendra Modi's doctrine of handling Pakistan.
I mean, I would say overwhelmingly across all age groups, people are have clearly supported the government on these initiatives of Operation Sindoor and the way the government has handled the situation post the Pahalgam terror attacks. But as you mentioned, as you go up the age curve, which is 18 to 24 to 45 plus, 55 plus, the approval rating for the government is tends to increase. So while 18 to 24, it's around 74, 75%, 55 plus is at 90% plus. Again, I would say it's basically the medium of news consumption, which is WhatsApp, etc., wherein largely after the attacks, the government has been able to communicate the extent of damage which it has done to the Pakistan air bases, etc.
The next question is the most interesting one. When it comes to handling of the ceasefire, should India have agreed to a ceasefire or not? What's the story there, Amitabh? Talk us through these numbers. Evenly split the perception?
Yeah, this is the question where the opinion is clearly divided and split. It's a tie almost. Almost 40% of the people believe that there should have been a ceasefire, whereas 40% of the respondents disagree that there should not have been a ceasefire. Here also, if you see, more females compared to males agree that there should have been a ceasefire, whereas amongst the males, it is almost 41% of males believe that India should not have agreed to a ceasefire. Amongst age demography, also, there is a clear distinction here. 18 to 24 age group is supportive of a ceasefire with more than 50% approval, whereas 25 to 34 age group is the age group. Almost 56% of this age group people or respondents say that India should not have agreed to a ceasefire. So this is a question which is being debated across the nation, in our drawing rooms, in our office rooms, across the nukkad, gullies, everywhere. And this is a question where India seems to be clearly divided, more so after the knowledge that India had significantly hit or destructed the Pakistan's air bases, almost 20% of their air strength. And perhaps this has led to this belief amongst the respondents.
I find this, the sentiment which is being captured in your survey, Amitabh, is that India needs to respond in a muscular manner when it comes to dealing with terror. Because the last question that you've attempted, how should India respond, God forbid, if there is another similar attack? Again, I find, there's overwhelming support that India must do a Sindhu 2.0 kind of an operation should something like this happen. Would that be the correct way to look at it?
Yeah, of course. Over the last 10 years, after the Balakot strikes and the Uri air strikes, India now clearly feels that there has to be a strong message which needs to be sent to Pakistan. And here as well, if you see, while 43% believe that we need in the future precision attacks like Operation Sindoor, 31% people also feel that we should go ahead and capture POK or get back the POK, which is ours. And 20% people feel that we should go for a full-blown war. Here again, I think the male and the female distinction should be made. Surprisingly, females prefer a capture of a POK compared to males in this question, while majority of males prefer that we should go for Operation Sindoor kind of attacks in the future.
All right, Amitabh, I think your findings are quite interesting and they certainly capture the mood of the nation when it comes to should India have gone in for a ceasefire or not. But thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing with us all these details, Amitabh.
Thank you, sir.